solve large, intractable problems.
It's a new venture altogether.
Your brain is a wild horse there.
Because remember, writing is not a team sport.
You are not selling horse carriages when there are cars.
I want to be known only as the trusted advisor.
More like a tourist.
Play to Potential podcast.
The other piece you talk about, which is often confused or people mix it up, is this notion of core competence and competitive advantage. Yeah. And you talk about sales and branding and a couple of other things in the context of HUL.
Yeah.
So give us an insight into how do you think about the distinction between these two, and talk to us about how these play out in a Unilever context.
It's an interesting story. As a management trainee, we are sent to ETA, which is a village outside UP, in UP, into a village where we stay for 6 weeks. We basically live with the farmer there and eat his food. And on Saturday morning, we are allowed to come back to Etah town, where we had to stay in a guest house of a doctor, a local doctor. And the local doctor's son was a sort of self-educated guy. He was autodidact. He was not, he's not an MBA like us. And he told me, he said, you guys in Levers, I meet all of you. You guys keep telling me that your core competence is distribution. That's not your core competence. Your core competence is understanding consumer needs and making products. Your competitive advantage is you go to more outlets, but someone can do it tomorrow better than you, can go to the same number of outlets. That doesn't mean you will shut down. You're ultimately, he said, very interesting. He said, you guys are a chemical engineering firm, and you've got to understand that's your core competence.
Wow.
So I think the interesting story is that this guy was just not in the circuit that would sort of say that he was reading these kind of things all the time in his free time and running some small business there in Etah. Uh-huh. So it stayed with me. You got to ask that question all the time as to what's that fundamental truth about a company without which it will fail. And I think in the case of Levers, it is understanding consumer needs and giving brands to solve those needs. That's the heart of our gig. Everything else, again, is an enabler. So, good supply chain, efficient costs, good media, all of that, even good advertising, but that's the heart of what we do. So.
Got it.